Good evening, you're watching Just the News. I'm Amita Balachandra. We start off with updates on the heat wave situation in the country. The IMD has now said that the prevailing heat wave conditions over Rajasthan, Vidarbha and Maharashtra and pockets around Delhi will abate starting Tuesday. Now, the maximum temperatures over northwest India is also set to fall by 3 to 4 degrees Celsius and remain so until Friday. So, a bit of relief there. From Thursday onwards, most part of north and central India will be free from the heat wave. The IMD has said, and I quote, "This is under the influence of the approaching western disturbance. Rainfall over the southern peninsula will be caused by the wind discontinuity in lower levels." End quote. Meanwhile, the centre has asked states and union territories to review their healthcare preparedness and it's also issued a list of do's and don'ts to prevent heat-related illnesses. Now, in a letter, Union Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan has asked people to contact the 108 or 102 helplines if they experience any heat-related symptoms, such as high body temperature, unconsciousness, or a state of confusion. Now, according to the guidelines, in children, refusal to eat, excessive irritability, decreased urine output, lethargy, or absence of tears are danger signs. The guidelines also have a section for employers who have been asked to provide cool drinking water at workplaces and ensure people consume it every 20 minutes. Now, we've also done a conversation with a pediatrician on what children should be following, what are the do's and don'ts, what are the danger signs. That will be up on our YouTube channel, so do take a look at that as well. Meanwhile, there are states which are now revising school timings. Odisha, for instance, has revised school timings starting the 2nd of May. Schools will conduct offline classes from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Now, on Sunday, 15 weather stations in Odisha recorded a maximum of 40 degrees Celsius or higher. Haryana has also followed suit. It said that school timings will now be revised and will be held from 7 a.m. to 12 noon. Moving on to the Hanuman Chalisa Rao now. While addressing a rally in Aurangabad, MNS Chief Raj Thackeray has said that the state government should remove loudspeakers from outside of mosques, failing which, he said, and I quote, "Hanuman Chalisa will be played at a louder volume than azan in front of the mosques," end quote. Now, he also stated that all loudspeakers are illegal, and he said, and I quote, "The Supreme Court has said that loudspeakers cannot be installed or played without permission from local police. How many mosques have the permission? None." End quote. Now, Raj Thackeray has reiterated his May 3rd deadline for removing loudspeakers after Eid. He said, and I quote, "Today is May 1st. He was talking yesterday. "And Eid is on May 3rd. I don't want issues during their festival, but from 4th, we will not listen." End quote. Now, today, Raj Thackeray has appealed to his party workers to not perform Maha-Arti that was scheduled for the 3rd of May. In the meantime, there's been a response that's come in from Mumbai Mayor. Responding to his remarks, Mumbai Mayor has said that loudspeakers should be used in accordance with noise pollution rules, and if anybody breaches the prescribed decibel limit, they should be removed. She also warned MNS workers that if anyone takes law in their hands, their life will be wasted attending court dates. Meantime, in Uttar Pradesh, about 54,000 loudspeakers were pulled down from different religious places for flouting decibel limits in Uttar Pradesh, and a volume of 60,295 loudspeakers was also reduced. Now, this was part of the campaign that was carried out statewide last week. Moving on to COVID news coming in from across the country, the Supreme Court has said that an individual cannot be forced to get vaccinated against COVID, as citizens have the right to bodily integrity under Article 21 of the Constitution. Now, Article 21 of the Constitution guarantees the life and personal liberty to all persons. Now, the court also held that the vaccine mandates imposed by various state governments and other authorities in the context of COVID-19 pandemic are not proportionate. The Supreme Court also directed the Centre to make public the data on adverse effects of COVID vaccination without compromising the details of individuals. The judges said, and I quote, regarding segregation of vaccine trial data subject to privacy of individuals, all trials conducted and to be subsequently conducted, all data must be made available to the public without further delay. End quote. Meanwhile, a Section 144 has now been extended in Noida. This will be applicable till the 30th of May. Section 144 has also been imposed in Uttar Pradesh's Gautam Nagar from the 1st of May to the 31st of May. Wearing masks has also been made mandatory in public places as well. The Association of Malayalam Movie Artists said today that it cannot take any instant disciplinary action against Vijay Babu, who is facing a rape charge. In the meantime, the body has accepted Babu's request to voluntarily step down from the executive committee. Now, as the body representing actors of the Malayalam film industry failed to act against Babu, actor Mala Parvati today announced her decision to quit as a member of the Internal Complaint Committee as a mark of protest. Now, Babu went into hiding after the Kochi City Police registered a rape case against him last week. On Thursday, the police also issued a lookout notice against him, who also faces a case for revealing the name of his accuser on Facebook. Now, Kerala High Court on Friday refused to consider the anticipatory bail plea of Vijay Babu in connection with this case. Also in the news, some tragic news came in just yesterday. The DGCA has now formed a multi-disciplinary panel to probe the turbulence incident on the SpiceJet flight to Durgapur that led to at least 15 people being injured. Now, the airline has now said that 8 of the 11 hospitalized passengers have now been discharged, and that both the cockpit and cabin crew had made multiple announcements asking flyers to remain seated. Now, the Indian Express citing officials has earlier reported that the plane flew into a storm while landing. Cabin baggage fell on many of them, causing injuries, including on the head. Also, news coming in from Madhya Pradesh. According to PTI, the Madhya Pradesh police have arrested 3 people for allegedly stopping a Dalit family from performing the last rites of their relative at a cremation ground in Guna district. Now, the family was forced to perform Ahirwar's last rites at an open ground near the crematorium instead. Now, the family was reportedly told that they belong to a small caste. According to a tweet by Suraj Kumar Budh, who is the founder of Mission Ambedkar, the incident happened on the 29th of April in Chandapura village, 62 kilometers from the Guna district headquarters. Now, the police have now registered a case against the 3 people under provisions of the Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes Prevention of Atrocities Act. Moving on to Maharashtra right now. Maharashtra Minister Nawab Malik's lawyer has informed a special court that he was admitted to a hospital today after he complained of fever and diarrhea. Now, the lawyer also said that his condition is serious. Nawab Malik had sought interim bail for 6 weeks, citing multiple illnesses. The judge sought a report from the hospital and set the matter for hearing on the 5th of May. Nawab Malik has been arrested for an alleged money laundering case. Moving on to business news right now. According to data released by the Union Finance Ministry, the GST collection for April has risen to 1.68 lakh crore rupees, which is the highest since its rollout in July 2017. Now, the ministry has said in a statement, and I quote, "This shows clear improvement in the compliance behavior, which has been a result of various measures taken by the tax administration to nudge taxpayers to file returns timely." End quote. On to international news. We start off with Ukraine crisis. It's day 68. But there's some glimmer of hope coming in from Mariupol, because Ukraine's President Zelensky has said that roughly 100 civilians have been evacuated from a besieged steel plant in the eastern Ukrainian city of Mariupol. It is the first time civilians have been evacuated out of the site, so this is extremely important, where fighters have been holed up for weeks now. mounting as a last stand, really, against Russian forces that have raced and really occupied the rest of the city. Now, a Ukrainian official has said that at least two more evacuation efforts will be needed to get all of the civilians out. For the hundreds of civilians who remain trapped inside, it's still not clear when they will be able to make out of that place. Now, in the meantime, the UNHCR has said that more than 5.5 million people have so far fled Ukraine. One piece of good news before we wrap things up here on this bulletin. Indian origin Nand Mulchandani has been appointed as the Central Intelligence Agency's first ever Chief Technology Officer. Now, Mr. Mulchandani has over 25 years of experience working in Silicon Valley and recently the Department of Defense as well. And in a statement, the CIA has added that Mr. Mulchandani, and I quote, brings substantial private sector, startup, and government expertise to the CIA, end quote. That brings us to the end of this bulletin. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.